All right, now to a story you'll only see here on 7 News. Violent threats have been made against some Loudoun County residents who have been outspoken about education issues at school board meetings.
And 7 News first broke this story online on WJLA.com. 7 News reporter Nick Minock joins us now with the very latest. Nick?
Yeah, 7 News on your side exclusively obtained these written threats. We reviewed them, and we can say they are violent threats made against some people who have been outspoken at Loudoun County School Board meetings. Right now, a school board meeting is underway. We're expecting this to be brought up during the public comment period. 7 News obtained these written threats from a whistleblower in a Facebook group who thought these conversations were just going too far. And the threats were made in a Facebook group chat that includes staff and people who appear to be associated with the county's top prosecutor, Buda Biberai, County Supervisor Julie Briskman, school board members Ian Sorokin, Brenda Sheridan, Atusa Reeser, Erica Ogadugbe, school board candidate Ann Donahue, sheriff candidate Craig Buckley, Chair Phyllis Randall, and others. I want to be clear here, though. The elected officials I listed did not make the direct threats in this Facebook group. We did speak with a sheriff's detective who's also running for school board here in Loudoun County. He says these threats are very concerning.
Everyone that's associated with this needs to disassociate and needs to call it what it is. It's violence, and make sure that they clean up their campaigns, their campaign staff, their current staff in their offices. And it's disappointing. Parents should absolutely be able to go to a public meeting for a publicly elected school board and express their opinion.
And we're going to have much more on this ahead at 6 o'clock and 11 o'clock here on 7 News. You're going to hear and see some of these threats tonight at 6 o'clock, and you're going to hear exclusively from some of these Loudoun County parents who have been threatened. Live in Ashburn, Nick Minock, 7 News.
Nick, thank you. In Spotsylvania.
Right now at 6 and only on 7 News.
This is a conspiracy to intimidate us.
Threats of violence and plots to get people fired for speaking out at Loudoun County School Board meetings. 7 News learning some of those making the threats have ties to elected officials. Also new at 6, they work fast in the dead of night, and they have D.C. residents fed up.
We don't want to have to fear that something bad's going to happen to any of us.
Cameras keep catching wheel thieves in the act. D.C. vehicle owners are wondering if police will ever start catching them.
Only on 7 News at 6, threats against Loudoun County residents who have been outspoken at school board meetings.
And these are threats we're talking about that range anywhere from parents being fired from their jobs to violence. And they're actually coming from people who appear to be associated with several Loudoun County elected officials, including some school board members and the Commonwealth's attorney.
7 News reporter Nick Minock is live for us with this exclusive story as we continue our Crisis in the Classroom coverage. Nick?
Good evening. These Loudoun County School Board members are meeting right now, and these threats are expected to be brought up during public comment. These 3 Loudoun County residents have been outspoken at school board meetings, and what they also have in common is they've been threatened.
I just was taken back when I received a phone call from the sheriff's department, a deputy, saying that I was being threatened online.
The online threats happened in a Facebook group called the Loudoun Love Warriors. It's a group that includes staff, volunteers, and supporters of several elected officials and candidates here in Loudoun County. 7 News obtained hundreds of messages from a whistleblower in the group who thought the conversations were going too far. The Loudoun Love Warriors group includes people who appear to be associated with Commonwealth's Attorney Buda Biberai, County Supervisor Julie Briskman, school board members Ian Sorokin, Brenda Sheridan, Atusa Reeser, Erica Ogadugbe, school board candidate Ann Donahue, sheriff candidate Craig Buckley, Chair Phyllis Randall, and more. Some of the people in the group are even paid by their campaigns and work in their official offices.
Please get back to reading, writing, and arithmetic.
After Mark Wynn spoke at a school board meeting in December, one person in the Loudoun Love Warriors group said they wanted to find Wynn's employer and hold the company accountable until he is fired. The person wrote, quote, "Say goodbye to your job. Let's make him unemployable by love or by force. I want to contact his employer to do just that, ruin his livelihood," unquote.
It just shocked me.
What shocked Wynn even more was a series of messages from someone in the group who wrote, quote, "We really need to find this guy. His life needs to be permanently disassembled. I would shoot him. I'm telling you, something has to happen to one of them. Something public and permanent. Lives need to be ruined beyond repair. I'm so ready to show up with guns," unquote. And despite the violent comments, a Loudoun County real estate agent posted Wynn's address in the group. But that's not all. Wynn showed us an email the real estate agent sent to his employer, asking them to take action against him.
They threaten my life and my livelihood.
This is happening at a time when Wynn's wife is battling stage 4 cancer.
Cancer is a tough thing.
And Wynn says he never imagined being threatened for his school board speech, which included a Bible verse. Wynn's speech also compelled some Loudoun County residents to launch an online petition to ban hate speech at school board meetings. The petition was circulated by the Loudoun Love Warriors group.
Quoting scripture in a public forum, that never has been and should never be considered hate speech. When they threaten somebody's employment or threaten somebody's life or threaten their home, yeah, that's hate speech.
Tonight at 11 on 7 News, you're going to hear from the other 2 Loudoun County residents you saw in our exclusive interview. One was violently threatened in this group. The other lost his job after someone in this Facebook group contacted his employer. Live in Ashburn, Nick Minock, 7 News.
It's what these Loudoun County parents want officials to do as we continue our crisis in the classroom coverage.
These 3 Loudoun County residents have pushed for more parental rights in education, academic rigor, special education improvements, school safety, and more. And some people who disagree with them have made violent threats against them.
I do feel like if they saw me, they would come after me.
The threats were made in a Facebook group chat that includes staff and people who appear to be associated with the county's top prosecutor, Buda Biberai, County Supervisor Julie Briskman, school board members Ian Sorokin, Brenda Sheridan, Atusa Reeser, Erica Ogadegbe, school board candidate Ann Donahue, sheriff candidate Craig Buckley, Chair Phyllis Randall, and others.
They threaten my life and my livelihood.
Threatening me, threatening to curb stomp me, it is really, really horrible.
Some of the individuals in this group found where you lived, found where you worked, and they said they wanted to ruin your life and get you fired.
One of the people in the group is a fellow real estate agent, and I've been a real estate agent for 37 years. Used the MLS system to identify where I live and to pass that information on.
After one person in the group contacted Scott Minio's employer, he was let go.
This is out of control. We can disagree. You don't have to like what I say. I'm not violating the law, but now you're destroying my life.
After lively school board meetings in Loudoun County in 2021, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland wrote a memo to the FBI saying there's been a disturbing spike in harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence against school administrators, board members, teachers, and staff, and that threats against public servants are not only illegal, they run counter to our nation's core values. Do you think Merrick Garland needs to look into this, too?
Absolutely. This is a conspiracy. This is a conspiracy to intimidate us. It is domestic terrorism. And they also have had conversations with Brenda. And they said, we are going to get information from Brenda Sheridan, who was the chairwoman of the school board, but she now sits on the board. And she has to have some sort of accountability to this. Atusa Reeser as well. Buda Biberai needs to prosecute this, and I'd really like to hear what she has to say. I'd like to hear what Chair Randall has to say.
They want Garland to investigate the threats and harassment against them, especially as one person in the group talked about showing up with guns.
So where is he showing up with guns? Is he showing up at our homes? Is he showing up at the school board with guns? This is an issue for all of us. Today, it's the three of us that are being attacked, discriminated against, defamed, threatened. Tomorrow, it's somebody else for their beliefs.
Nick Minock, 7 News.